Live from the Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is the YouTube channel vlog show in which video games, flash game show gameplays, along with sports and wrestling news are the norm. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is the host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, for that lovely intro. Hello there once again. Welcome to yet another episode from my Big Beefy Man Cave in New Beige, Massachusetts. New Bedford, for those who do not speak Portuguese. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 45 of the show. I am the host and perpetrator of these shenanigans, Mr. Eric M. Lima, other known as to other circles around as Big Beefy E. Not here in New Bedford, but in internet circles. Like from Bofus and the Sofas as well. They gave me that nickname. I figured take the ball and run with it, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we're going to pray for the folks. I want to send my prayers out there to the folks over in Florida, especially in the Citrus area, the area that is getting in the areas that are in the path of Hurricane Ian. I pray that you guys stay safe out there. I pray that your properties, and your stuff stand still. I pray that everyone stays safe, their pets included. If you have to evacuate, I pray that you guys go somewhere and someplace safe. And I know a lot of people saying moving to Florida could be the best thing ever, but you have to deal with all the hurricanes and all that. And I know a few friends now that live in Florida. I pray for you guys' safety as well. My friend Chris Wombo, who recently visited here in Massachusetts, I saw him back in October, and it was great seeing him again. And I know he lives in Florida with his wife and all that. I pray that he stays safely. My aunt Patsy, my auntie Patsy, who was celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Auntie Patsy! I know she just recently moved down there. But now, and with my other Uncle John, I pray that they stay safe wherever they are. And so, and anybody, my friend Nate Knight, I think he's in Central Florida. I think that's the area that is probably going to get hit the hardest, though. I pray that you guys stay safe, Nate Knight and everybody else. So, anybody live in Florida, please be safe. Take your pets with you. Make sure you have everything you needed. If you have to evacuate, I pray for you guys stay safely. And I know it has not been the easiest of times. Always hurricane season has always been a problem. So I pray that you guys stay safe. It's very, very important that you do. And to my local friends here in New Bedford, Dartmouth, Fairhaven, anywhere, if you guys go to the Dartmouth Mall, please stop by Olympia Sports if you need anything from there or want anything from there, because they'll be closing in 2 days, and that's it. So afterwards, Olympia Sports will be gone by the end of the month, and I will be paying tribute on a later episode of this show to honor, because I always have great fun memories when it comes to stores that are closing and all that. And I figured, October's around the corner, and I figured I want to do something in tribute to those, and who knows, So it's something that it's kind of like my idea almost. So it is a theme. I'll probably do a week, the once per week thing of a special episode. I'll explain when we get to it. So what I'm thinking about. So, but for right now, this is the 45th episode. This is there will be NXT Event Center for September 27, 2022. That was last night, NXT. As you know, the new NXT, no more 2.0. That some people still mention it 2.0. But it's just now NXT. And the former NXT UK Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov, kicks off NXT, addresses the crowd of why he came to challenge Braun Breaker. And then J.D. McDonough, who was not happy that Dragunov showed up, interrupts him, gets in Dragunov's face, and Braun Breaker interrupts both men, and then suggested for a triple threat for Halloween Havoc, and he did a little Steiner math the 33 and third chance thing. Gotta love Braun Breaker, man. You gotta get connection. Well, Gallus, Briggs, and Jensen were brawling in the back. Security and referees tried to separate both teams. A member of security got knocked out by a member of Gallus. That's even crazy. Toxic Attraction was on the ring. Was going towards the ring with Gigi Dolan and JCJ and cutting a promo on Alba Fire. Going to send a message to Alba Fire by way of fighting Fallon Henley. The Schism did cut a promo on Cameron Grimes because they had a matchup. Joe Gacy one-on-one with Cameron Grimes. So that was later tonight. Fallon Henley went one-on-one with Mandy Rose. This is a non-title matchup, by the way. The title was not on the line. Even if it was, Mandy Rose did win the matchup. And then Mandy Rose got the microphone, dresses Alba Fire. Alba Fire interrupts Mandy Rose by writing down and knew, and it went in flames. Apollo Crews was writing a diary addressing Grayson Waller, who was on the bump, which was crazy. And then and Grayson Waller and the Miz, interesting show it was. So Crews and Waller maybe facing each other again. Who knows for sure? Xyon Quinn talking to Ilja Dragunov. Xyon Quinn started talking smack, dressing Dragunov, and started talking smack to him, and then Dragunov, just telling him you should have kept your mouth shut, kid. So that was crazy to say the least. So there's that, and there it is. So there's that. So I was like, ooh. North American the first qualifying match for the North American Championship ladder match. Wesley went on one-on-one with Tony D'Angelo. Wesley won by referee stoppage, even though he ejected Stacks from ringside. What happened was Wesley meant to go do a drop toe hold, and Tony D'Angelo's head hit the turnbuckle, but it seems like something was wrong with his right leg. I think he probably stumbled on his right leg because Wesley did a drop toe hold on the left leg, I believe. So I don't know. He pulled something, and I don't know what Wesley kind of didn't feel like winning it that way. I kind of feel for him, and I know he lives for competition, respects competition. So so Wesley did advance into the hopefully Angelo's okay. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams as they run their mouths. Oro Mensah, the man formerly known as Oliver Carter, greets them and talks to them and says, "Hey, well, best of luck to you." And then Hayes and Williams about it, and he says, "Whatever, moving forward." And then is the day in the life of Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. I'm like, oh boy, what is these goonballs up to? And they were like the modern day version of Billy and Chuck with no Rico. You know what I mean? And so they were doing a side play check and all this. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, this is lame. What are we? We see those boys in action, man. Well, I like their catchphrase. Yes, boy. So I think it's pretty funny, to say the least. I know my team of videos glitching. I do apologize for that. Let's see. And then Sol Ruka, who made her debut against Amari Miller, and two shook hands, and Ruka did win her match against Amari Miller. Gallus then ended up knocking out a security guard. Then Cameron Grimes went one-on-one with Joe Gacy, and Cameron Grimes was on a roll until the Dyad got involved, and Gacy ended up winning the matchup. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Grayson Waller, who's freaking out and flipping out about Apollo Crews in his promo there. But he says he's got the Grayson Waller effect next week after Mackenzie Mitchell suggested, no, sit down, go home. No. And he's got Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. That's going to be a cat fight waiting to happen next week, that's for sure. Nikkita Lyons, the lovely Nikkita Lyons, I like Nikkita Lyons, went one-on-one with Kayden Carter with Katana Chance in her corner, and Nikkita Lyons has Zoe Stark in her corner, and the Fierce Lion did pick up the victory over Kayden Carter. Chase U had a Pep Bradley press conference as he has an opportunity to qualify for the North American Championship in a ladder match, but he's got to face Von Wagner. Some guy named Dave said stupid, and that was when Andre Chase went off on the guy, swearing at him and all that. Yep, that's what happened. And Nathan Frazier addresses his third final match of the 3-match series with Xyon. But this time around, the third match the rubber match between Frazier and Xyon will be a North American ladder match qualifier match. So that North American title ladder qualifying matchup. And I'll tell you one thing right now: the stakes have been raised. Nathan Frazier and Xyon. I got a feeling when they heard about this, they probably going all out. That's going to be for sure. Ilja Dragunov went one-on-one with Xyon Quinn, with Dragunov picking up the victory. Now, a lot of you guys were concerned about, Ilja Dragunov. He's from Russia with the war with Ukraine going on and all that. They decided to not mention about where he's from. They decided not to do his old theme song, like the old Soviet theme song that like Nikolai Volkov used to sing, But so that's why they changed his, and that's why the main reason why they changed its theme, and they decided not to mention where he's from and I think he's not calling his move Torpedo Moscow anymore. So because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and I'm sure Ilja Dragunov probably doesn't feel any comfortable right now. He probably, because a lot of people like him, they respect him in the ring. He's very, very intense. They like him, so I think that's why the WWE did what they had to do. So. Wendy Chu and Lash Legend decided to cut a promo on each other and been running their mouths, and Wendy Chu's been making fun of. I like Wendy Chu. She's funny as heck, man. Let me tell you. If you talk about, if you have a female version of D-Generation X, Wendy Chu should be the leader. Let me tell you. Then you got Brutus Creed went one-on-one with Damon Kemp, and because of Damon Kemp's use of the steel chair, Brutus Creed won by disqualification. So. Then Sanga talks to Quincy Elliott how he was, he lost to Von Wagner and all that. And then Quincy Elliott talks to Xyon Quinn. And Quinn's like, and you call yourself the X Factor? I don't see it. Tee-hee. And then Wagner. I was like, And Quincy Elliott, shout out to you wearing a Whitney Houston shirt, respecting the legends, man, something legend. Then Nikkita Lyons and Zoe Stark about to walk out of the arena. He got interviewed and talks like Attraction starts running their mouths about that, and then what happened was, as they were talking, Albert Fire showed up to even things. I sense a 6-woman tag match probably could happen at Halloween Havoc, or could Albert Fire go one-on-one with Mandy Rose for the women's title at Halloween Havoc, or Zoe Starks and Nikkita Lyons in the number 1 contendership against Toxic Attraction. Now, the rumors have that Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC James could go to the SmackDown roster. SmackDown roster needs a lot of help right now, and I think the addition of JC Jane and Gigi Dolan could really use that. I'm thinking, and I'm going to be sensing that Ginny may end up going, because we haven't heard much from Ginny ever since the folding of NXT UK. So now that she's married to Gunther and she's still under contract and all that, I sense that Ginny will join that women's division, because that women's division is going to be on SmackDown is going to need a lot of help. That's for sure. So anyways, the Pub Rules match is basically a street fight. Anything goes. Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen versus Gallus. And since Joe Coffey was banned from ringside, it was only Wolfgang and Mark Coffey. And Briggs and Jensen did win the match in the end, but Gallus kept on going, and they got arrested after one of the Gallus members punched out a referee. And because of that, Gallus has been suspended indefinitely. Oh boy. I don't know what's going to happen now. Is Gallus going to move to the main roster too? We don't know for sure. And, I know it's going to be a storyline suspension, so we will see what happens, okay? So that is all the time we have on this show. Episode 45 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is complete. NXT Event Center for last night, September 27, 2022. Next episode coming up, The Joker's Wild. Beat the Devil time. Let's see how I can do this time around. So, on that end, Mr. Announcer, could you please take us home? That is all for today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, tour for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Sweetie Bumbling Bofo Raver Telepictures and Distribution. See you next episode, and have a very blessed day.